I think I've heard you say this recently, and I agree with it as well. Like, I don't think we should be chatting with technology.
I'm totally against it, 1,000,000% full stop.
There's something odd about that anthropomorphized conversational interface.
I think anthropomorphization of this technology is bad.
I think I've heard you say this recently, and I agree with it as well. Like, I don't think we should be chatting with technology. We should
No.
not be chatting in a sort of anthropomorphized, humanized way. Doesn't mean you can't do natural language processing. I mean, Google is natural language processing. You're writing your Google searches in natural language,
Yeah.
but no one's having a conversation with Google. It's you list the keywords as quickly as possible, and Google's pretty good at figuring out,
I totally agree with this. I totally agree. And I think this point is probably the last point we're going to touch on in this video. And I will link the full video. I still have to finish the whole discussion. But I'll probably end it on this anthropomorphism point that we'll finish off. I'm totally against it, 1,000,000% full stop. I don't care if you're Mo Gadot. I don't care if you're Ray Kurzweil. I don't care if you're P.H. Diamandis. I don't care if you're Liron Shapira. I don't care if you're Eliezer, Nate Suarez. I don't care who you are. I think anthropomorphization of this technology is bad. Full stop. I think we don't understand it well enough. I think in some sort of far future utopian reality where we knew the stuff was safe and we really had an inkling that it was somehow conscious, if we lived in a Futurama style future, maybe then I could concede, this thing seems lifelike enough that perhaps we could create an actual coexistence. But to me, that is still fantasy. That is still, I don't think there's any evidence that LLMs are conscious and need to be treated as peers or have moral personhood or any of these things. I think if evidence is suggested, supported, and reviewed, and we live in a different world where I'm wrong about that, I'm willing to reconsider. But until then, I think we already have enough proof that the internet, smartphones, and social media fuck with people's brains. They do things that negatively impact people's psyche, game their attention, game their attachment. We've already seen the terrible, terrible consequences of delusion, psychosis, and even suicide coming from people creating these things as companions, the social implications of that. I think it's absolutely terrible. And I think that even talking to it in the native tongue, you can't help but anthropomorphize it a bit. Those lines are already blurry, and then the people like this girl that does the Silicon Valley girl, like she's one of a million people that just gives it to her kids. She's like, I'm preparing them for the future. Like people are so convinced that they're just preparing their kids for the future. This is all good. This is how you get ahead of the curve. The people that are going to use AI are going to be way better off than the people that don't. Was that true of social media? I don't think it was. I don't think that being ahead in social media necessarily made you better or smarter or whatever. I think in a lot of cases it makes people more stupid and it makes it harder for people to pay attention and they don't know how to focus on their priorities. It's not a clean slate. Like everybody that uses social media knows how to market and promotes their business. Like that does happen and there is good, but it's not all good. And I think it's going to be the same thing with this. There are ways to use this stuff that are good, but we don't have enough education. There's no precedent for it. We don't have enough of an understanding. And people want to just dive right in. This is going to have negative consequences. What happens when your child treats this thing like a person and treats this thing like a friend and you give it a complex? People are already there. You already saw people were attached to 4.0, ChatGPT 4.0, and they lost their minds, taking that thing away, and they're marrying it and all this. Like, dude, the implications of that are so, so dangerous. I'm with them full stop on this. That shit is totally, totally a mistake.
Yeah.
But no one's having a conversation with Google. It's you list the keywords as quickly as possible, and Google's pretty good at figuring out, population, Spain, 1982. And you press enter and you get that information. You're not like, hey, so I'm wondering what the population is of Spain in 1982. Can you help me find that ? There's something odd about that anthropomorphized conversational interface. I guess we saw a lot of Star Trek growing up, and
And what are the number one use cases for fucking ChatGPT and all these chatbots? Not scientific research. It's not building your business. It's like fucking personal therapy and companionship. Those are like the what most people are like using these things for. Like, let's be realistic about what this is doing. Like, come on,
that's what we think the future is supposed to be like, but it
But the
has
thing
all sorts of
is,
problems.
tons of problems.
remembering Star Trek, when he would go, computer, do this, the computer didn't go, that's a great idea, Jean Luc. What a great idea. Thank you for the computer just did the thing. That's like, I don't have any trouble with natural language queries because I think the whole reason that, say, ChatGPT has grown comes from search. I think it is the core of it because ChatGPT and Claude and all them are better at understanding what you asked for. Not saying the data output is necessarily great, but just they understand the inference they make from what you say is better than Google, or at least better than Google has been. I feel like it was better before. And I think that had Google not kind of boofed it on this one, we wouldn't be in this spot. But even then, using Google now, it forces you. It forces the AI summaries, and you could do minus AI and all that, but sometimes I don't remember to. And it's just turned search into this nightmare. But nevertheless, back to what you were saying, I agree. I think the anthropomorphization needs to go. I think that these things need to respond like terminal windows or what have you. They need to respond like
I
computers and
agree.
go, okay, here you go. Just
I agree.
don't need all that kludge. I don't need to be told, oh, what a great idea. I know, I had it. Or indeed, if I'm being told that, I need to be told if it's a bad idea. But I don't even necessarily need an answer. I just need.
That's one of the huge risks with this technology is any technology really, but especially this is like that this is somehow a good substitute for human relations, and it's not. You're not dealing in reality. You're basically actively telling people to be delusional, right? I can Guys can make themselves sex robots and make a partner whatever however they want. Women in China can create AI avatar boyfriends and whatever and make them as obedient as they want, and they can change them to be. It's not realistic. You're totally living outside. You're telling people to invest in fantasy so you can make a buck. Character AI. Yeah, I'm looking at you, motherfuckers. Kids committing suicide, making Game of Thrones characters and all these you're a piece of shit for that. You're pieces of shit. You know what you're doing, and you're fucking using and manipulating people and their attachment and stealing their data to build your fucking shit bigger and better, and you're getting them attached and addicted to your bullshit. It is so dangerous and it's new. So we have no fucking long term data on this stuff. There's already stuff from MIT talking about cognitive offloading and all this shit. This is the same thing that happened with social media, and why I'm so that's like my through line to this is fucking social media, because we saw what the fuck happened and we slept walk right through it. We still have barely done anything about that. And we're gonna let this shit happen again so people can have productivity gains and yada yada, all this bullshit. It's like Tristan Harris says, you're gonna get the good things. It's not that it's not good, it's that you're gonna do all these other things that undermine the good stuff. You're gonna undercut the true value because you're not building it safely. You don't understand it. There's no regulation, there's no restraints, there's no proper education. You literally can't just take out and put in what you want. It's so dangerous. And fucking things like food and medicine and all these other and public services, all these other things have regulation, education, strict rules. This has nothing. And somehow AI gets this weirdo fucking pass. No. I bet you people would feel a lot better about using it if we had a structure. Like, it's just absolutely unacceptable to me.
Stuff to look at so that I can come to my own conclusions.
I think it's hard, actually. I think it's actually hard to get a language model to do that, right? Because if you think about
And it shouldn't be
when you go back to the
available.
base layer of what's happening in the pre-training, is that you're building a language model that's trying to win at the token guessing game. So I'm trying to guess what word or part of word actually comes next to what I assume to be a real piece of text. And then if you do that auto-regressively, so you call it again and again and again, adding the answer to the input so it grows out an answer, what you're going to get is text expansion. You've given me a text that I'm trying to expand as if there was a real text that exists and I'm trying to match it. You get that like kind of indirectly. So really its idiom is the type of text it's trained on, which for the most part is more sort of prose style text. So you can tune it away from it. Like you can tune its mood, you can tune its sycophancy, but it might be hard.
I really just don't think products like that should exist on the market. I think they should, or at least we should stop now and put all this energy and money and all that stuff into figuring out how these things actually work and making them safer instead of trying to just full steam ahead it. Like it's nuts, dude. It's fucking nuts. I think it's totally wild. What up, y'all? This is Zane the Gambit. Thank you so much for watching this clip on Zane's Zone Unlimited. This is just a clip of a larger video. So if you liked what you saw, please tap the end screen or the video in the description link and watch the full thing. Like, subscribe, comment. I would appreciate it greatly. Thank you so much. I'm out.